Hello everyone, I'm going to show you how I spent 3 days in London after 2 years not visiting the city. First things first, this is my hotel room in Covent Garden. After unpacking things in the hotel, I just went on exploring nearby by foot because everything from Google Maps is just very close. Then I head over to Marylbone for dinner with an old friend of mine. She told me she knew this restaurant because it's been recommended by her friend, and it's basically an Italian restaurant. London is 4.5 hours away. You can go by train or by plane, and usually it depends on how many stops if you're using the train. Some trains are quicker than others because they have less stops, like 3 stops. Mine, I think it was 9 stops or 8. That's why it's like 4.5 hours. And if it's by train and by plane, I've never traveled to London by plane because I don't know, it's just the view is nice, if you're using the train. And I mean, the train is comfy. And if you want to take a cheaper options using the train, usually they have Lumo. So there's LNER and there's Lumo. Lumo is the cheaper one. I had my breakfast in Ivy Market Grill, which is 5 minutes walk away from my hotel. And me being a fan of hash browns, theirs taste great, and it's very rare as most restaurants serve hash browns, and their hollandaise sauce tastes amazing. The Ivy is a very popular chain of restaurants in the UK. Next, I went to the Apple Market, which is right in front of the restaurant. And apparently, there's only one Glossier store in the UK, and it's this one. Covent Garden and Soho is right next to each other. So if you're traveling from Apple Market and Chinatown and Regent Street by foot, you shouldn't need to worry about if it's going to take too long or if it's tiring. And again, I think this points out the fact that you have to be careful when you're choosing hotels, when you're traveling alone as a student or on a budget, and with your family.
For those of you who are in London and you want to take a picture of the Big Ben, I suggest you go out of your place by 8:30 latest if you live in Covent Garden or somewhere around it, because things get crowded by 10 a.m. So yeah.
This is a bit of a story time. But I arrived 2 days ago, right? And then I met with an old friend. We had dinner. And then we both took a taxi to my hotel. Her place is way further than where I'm staying. And then 30 minutes after we parted, I got a message from her. And then she told me that she lost her phone. Her freaking phone. And then I was just... I wanted to go down, right? Because her phone got taken around the area of my hotel. And so when it happened, I just wanted to go down. But at the time, I was in no position to go down because I was already in my PJs. But again, that's no problem. But the thing is, I still want to pray. And so I haven't prayed yet. And then I got that message. And then I got so stressed and like, how am I going to help her? She told me to go down, right, to pick her up. She was in a bar nearby, and I was thinking, it happened to me before. But I didn't lose a phone. But someone still got access to my online banking. So the thing I said to her, it's not important for me. Okay, you know what? The very first thing I should do is not to pick you up, but for you to go home as soon as possible and just reset everything. As in, just change the details in your Apple Pay, disable that device, and just call your bank immediately and take care of your online bank account. And so she got help from police nearby, and She told me yesterday that everything is fine. I'm just scared that the thief would get access to her account and just everything would come down from there. Because in my case, I lost around 600 pounds, and thank God the bank just kind of compensated it, and then they said, you know what, this happens pretty often, but this time we're gonna give you back the money.
2 years ago, I did take a picture in this very spot with my family. I'm not saying that I enjoy this more, but like, I think when you travel alone, it makes you feel more and think more. Because if you're traveling with someone, say your family, you're like, you suddenly become in like an automatic mode where you rely on them and where to go. So yeah. The fact that it happened to my friend on my very first day in London is like one of the reasons why I never think about visiting London for 2 years. I mean, it didn't happen to me, but like it happened to my close friend after meeting me. So yeah, I should have just forced her to take a taxi back then. I did tell her to do it, but I didn't really press on it. And plus, it's expensive taxi. Yesterday is more like me exploring the area around my hotel, and I would say that that's like a very good hotel. I would say it's Radisson Blue. It's in Covent Garden. I would say it's good because everywhere is just close. Like Chinatown is 5 minutes walk away, Regent Street 15 minutes at most, and like it's pretty much next to Seven Dials Market, and also it's very easy for me to find like a good place for coffee or cakes. Like I'm just glad that I did choose that hotel.